او فرماندار پنسیلوانیا، رئیس حزب دموکرات آمریکا، رئیس انجمن سراسری فرمانداران آمریکا و همچنین شهردار فیلادلفیا بوده. به همه سوابق خودش هم به همه اینهایی که اشاره کردیم افتخار میکنه، اما از یک چیز احساس شرم داره، به یک لکه که در پرونده آمریکا همه رو به شرم میاره. ادوارد رندل، او همیشه از این شرم صحبت میکنه و راه اون رو هم نشون میده، اما خب استدلالهاش برای پایان دادن به این لکه شرم خیلی دقیق و خیلی هم شنیدنی است. با هم گوش میکنیم به سخنرانی آقای رندل در کنفرانس کنگره آمریکا و بعد هم مصاحبه خبرنگار سیمای آزادی رو با رئیس پیشین حزب دموکرات آمریکا میبینیم.
Senator Amato talked about the fact that what our country has done here is a disgrace. And I echo those sentiments. You all know, and I don't know if the president's aware, but we put in our letter that there were United States troops within a mile of Camp Ashraf this April. And an hour and a half before the attack by the Maliki government's army, they were told to withdraw. To this day, we don't know who told them to withdraw. We have no idea. But we do know that it was a shame on the American record. And Mr. President, we gave our word to protect these people. We failed twice. We're not going to fail a third time. Because if we fail... So what do we have to do, Mr. President? In addition to the listing, we have to pressure the United Nations to move speedily. And if the UN won't act, we must. It's our moral obligation. We gave our word. We're here today for two reasons. One, to ensure that the residents of Camp Ashraf get the protection they deserve and that the U.S. lives up to its word. And secondly, to see that we can delist the MEK today. To me, it's a disgrace that the United States of America went back on its pledge. What did the United States lose almost 5,000 of its young people for? For a government like that? For us to turn our back and allow slaughter to happen? I don't believe that's what we fought for. Ashraf is a moral issue, and we have no choice but to do the right thing. Delisting MEK is a legal issue, and the legal case is absolutely overwhelming. Mayor Giuliani said he was ashamed that America stood by idly and did nothing during the uprising. Well, I can't tell you, as I've learned about this, and when I was first contacted by the MEK, I didn't even know that Ashraf existed. But I put a lot of time in reading, and when I learned about it, and when I learned that American troops, notwithstanding our sworn obligation, turned their backs, ordered to turn their backs, and walked away and let that slaughter happen, I felt ashamed. So, Mayor Giuliani's right. All of us should speak with one voice. Americans, European Union countries, Swiss, all freedom-loving and human rights-loving peoples in this world should speak with one voice to the UN and say, send the monitors in. And let's get the blue helmets in too. If the blue helmets are in Ashraf, there will be no more deaths. And I think that
we are here with our beloved Governor Randel. And thank you for your speak in the symposium. We have a question from the viewers that what do you think is the influence of the Iranian government on the destiny of the Ashraf? Like how the Iranian government influences in Iraq?
Well, I think the Iranian government influences what happens in Ashraf through their influence on Maliki. I think there are two elements here. One, Maliki is doing the bidding of the Iranian government. That's absolutely clear to me. The attacks, the unwarranted attacks at Ashraf in 2009, 2011 clearly the bidding of the Iranian government. It makes no sense in any other way. So that's number one. But number two, the Iranian government influences what happens because our government, the U.S., seems reluctant to challenge the Iranian government. Maybe in the hope that they won't build a nuclear facility, maybe in the hope that they'll come back into the community of nations, act more responsible. But I think the evidence is clear that this policy, Bush administration followed, and the Obama administration has followed, this policy of trying to appease Iran in a way hasn't worked. I think they respond to toughness. If it worked, would the Iranians have plotted a murder assassination on U.S. soil? Mm-hmm. Of course not. If it worked, would the Iranians have threatened to blockade the Strait of Hormuz? Of course not. If it worked, would the Iranians still be moving ahead at literally lightning speed to develop a nuclear bomb? Of course not. So that strategy hasn't worked. So I think whatever influence they've had on this process should end.
You can answer my next question, which is this is the election year, and obviously President Obama is trying to push the sanction against Iranian regime so they can come to this negotiation table.
Right.
What is your opinion about this policy? Sanction alone, will that make this Iranian regime to come to the table to become a decent?
Well, sometimes in foreign policy there are no easy or no right answers. On the one hand, the sanctions do not appear to be working. On the other hand, the consequences of either Israel or the United States unilaterally striking at the Iranian nuclear facilities, those consequences are great, not only for Israel and the United States, but for the entire Middle East. It could start a reign of terror. So the Obama administration has to balance the equities. But while balancing the equities, they can show some strength in dealing with Iran and say, look, the people in Ashraf were guaranteed protection by the United States of America. We signed an agreement with each and every one of them when they disarmed. We are obligated to fulfill that. So you, the Iraqi government, are not going to get any additional weapons until all of the people in Ashraf are taken care of.
Mrs. Maryam Rajavi says no war and no appeasement. Let the third option, which is undo the tie against the MEK listing and let the Iranian people with their opposition take care of this problem. What do you think about it?
That, in the long run, is the best hope for not only the United States, but for the Middle East. If the Iranian government can become a secular government, can become a government that's not interested in wielding power outside its borders, yes, that's the best hope. That is the third option, and it is the best option. But you know.
So you're pro that?
Oh, absolutely. That should be the way to go.